we call sexy. You can see from the title, it's more of a love album. We do things like songs that are a little, what we call sexy. You can see from the title, it's more of a love album.
What's good? What's good? I can't hear you.
Yes, my bad. Welcome back to another week of Manversations 2020. Definitely had a fun show for you guys tonight. We wanted to keep it real simple, but join along with the viral sensation that's going along. Tonight's show is called The List, and we have several different lists that derive from the original list So we just wanted to go, basically talk about the list and also bring up other lists and see what you guys think about it, your opinions on it. Um, I know we had a lot of great conversation, especially the other day. Me and Major was on Edwin's live. That was super dope, man. And we gave everybody a preview of Manversations 2020. And it was so dope. Yeah, so definitely want to bring that up and let you guys see what's going on with these lists and see if they're reality or they're delusional. All right. How y'all fellas
Yes,
doing
sir.
tonight? How
We
y'all fellas
live,
doing?
man. We ready.
Feeling mighty
We
fine.
live. We
Mighty
ready,
fine.
dog. Been a long week, man. I feel like we had an emergency call, man. We had to get on there with brother Edwin Shepherd and chop it up. Shout out to that brother. That was a great experience on his live. It was so serious. My man felt like he had to go live about it, man. Edwin ain't been in the talk show, dating, relationship sphere in a minute. And like people was just raising so much hell about this list. He was like, man, I gotta say something. And yeah, we'll talk more about that later. And you know how some people were really touched by what we had to say. That's what's up.
Exactly. That was super dope.
Yeah.
Love the great feedback. Edwin's a super dope guy. Knows how to curate greatness and to line people up the way we should be aligned up correctly, whether it's here on our soil or he's doing it overseas in Africa. Brother's doing an amazing job, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Edwin Shepherd for doing his thing. Keep doing it. But like I told him, anytime he need any of us from the Manversations crew to come out here and do some straightening and get everybody on the right track, then hey, we all are open and our doors are open for him at any time. So that's
you already know. Yeah.
All right. So tonight, let's get into the list tonight. We're gonna start off with the original list. All right. So the original list that is going viral right now is this list that they have derived. This is what women were saying. Here's the list of places women absolutely refuse to go on the first date. And thank you to the ladies who reached out to me to help me on my list. All right. So I guess this was a woman who got help from other women. And out of all the suggestions of no first dates, this is what they came up with. All right. So the first one was Cheesecake Factory. Y'all have a problem with Cheesecake Factory?
Of course not.
Nope.
Okay.
And remind me to get back to that. Go ahead.
Okay. Second is Applebee's. Y'all got a problem with Applebee's?
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
Bobby? Yeah, no.
Nope. I got no. I may or may not, but nope.
All right. Chili's. Y'all got a problem with Chili's?
Nope.
I like Chili's. I actually like Chili's.
I love Chili's. Perfect spot for a first date.
All right. Chipotle. Y'all got a problem with Chipotle?
Chipotle might be cutting it, but you might be pushing a little with Chipotle.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't.
I still don't think it's a problem. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't. You guys wouldn't, for the simple fact of what factor you guys wouldn't take her to Chipotle? What would be the main reason as far as date wise, like trying to get to know her?
Chipotle is kind of like a fast food spot. You know what I'm saying? It's like I kind of equate it to upscale Wendy's. You know what I'm saying? Like no.
Okay. Olive Garden. Yay, nay?
Absolutely.
No issue with it.
Absolutely.
I don't like the smell of Olive Garden. The food is straight for me. It's just got this. It's got this wet dog or wet mop bucket floor. Like it got a mop bucket smell to it. I don't know what it is, man. But I go in there.
That's fine, but see, that's more preference. You just don't like something about it. It's nothing wrong with it. It's different.
Correct.
Correct.
All right. So the next one is the movies. Do we have an issue with the movies?
No, I don't.
I sure don't.
I have an issue with the movies.
I know you do. I know you do,
Yeah.
and that's okay. I can
Yeah.
understand how a person might not like the movies, but to rule it out entirely,
hmm
you did.
I would
like,
say
I could.
I would say purposeful because I can, and we're probably going to get more into it, so I don't want to flip that one over. But I'll say if you go in there for a specific purpose, as a cut and paste just option, no. But if you're going there for specific reasons, then that's a different story.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that and some of the other people who object to movies, correct me if I'm wrong, and you're objecting to movies because the movie is taking up 90% of your attention span or whatever the case may be. You don't really get to talk to the person as much, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't talk to them. It's very rude to talk in the theaters, period. And by the time a 2-hour film go, it ain't gonna be much time left on the date.
Yes,
Now,
and no. We can come back to that. I get it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was saying like, well, yeah, we'll go back to that one.
Okay. Any fast food chain?
Bullshit.
Definitely should be on this list.
Bullshit. That's saying all of them. That's saying that. You know what's funny? That's even cutting out places. That's even cutting out the big name places, the expensive places. Because last I checked, Ruth Chris was a chain restaurant.
But not fast
They
food.
have Ruth Chris.
But they're talking about
fast food.
My
bad. Yeah, fast food chain. I can agree with that. Yes.
Okay. All right. Buffalo Wild Wings. I don't have a problem.
I could do Buffalo Wild Wings as a first date.
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
I'll do Buffalo Wild Wings for happy hour, but as far as like a date's concerned, nah. I wouldn't.
It all depends. It all depends on the woman. Maybe she might be a sports fan. Maybe she might like a team that. Yeah. So
that's something else, and that's another thing and that's why the vast majority of these places I don't have an issue with because it's all circumstantial. Because remember, and we're gonna get I don't want it. Well, no, because we're gonna get there eventually. But one of the very same places on this list just the other day, all of a sudden became the it place again. So. It's so again, it's and it's all circumstantial, so it depends on who the person is.
Real talk.
So, Wingstop.
No.
Okay, so hold up. So we could use a circumstantial point and say, what if we pick up some Wingstop and go to the park with a blanket and eat and get to know each other?
Maybe
I agree with that.
Is that an option?
I'm cool. That's fine by me. But when we're saying first date, I'm thinking, especially as far as food goes, I'm thinking that means we're sitting in and eating and enjoying the ambiance and everything. Wingstop barely got any spots to sit. I mean, Wingstop by and large was designed to get the wings and go out. That's why the inside it might have a bench or two or some seats, but it really ain't meant for you to kind of get all comfy and just sit back and just. Dig in like that.
Real talk. Okay. Shout out to Shooter in the building. What up, boss?
What up, King?
What's up?
All right.
Yeah.
Red Lobster with the special biscuits.
Absolutely. I love Red Lobster. If she don't like Red Lobster, she might get canceled if she don't like Red Lobster. Red Lobster is everything.
I don't want to hear none of these fake bougie wannabe city chicks talking about they don't like, and yes, I said chicks, talk about they don't like Red Lobster, and then secretly when no one's paying attention, they go and they just sneaking a biscuit out the bag and just munching on it.
You know they do.
Don't that brand new, or they want to think that because they buy them if they're served in the frozen section, because they do have the biscuits in the frozen section. Some grocery stores. Don't be buying them out there or trying to make your own version and acting like you're too good for it. No, let's not do that. Let's not fake that. Them biscuits hit.
Real talk.
They hit.
I skipped one. I didn't even see I skipped one. It says your house. Your house is good for a first date?
It depends on the woman. As a rule, no. As a rule, no.
In most cases, no. That's under the Netflix and chill category right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
A buffet.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah.
Buffets is cool.
I think
Depends on the buffet.
Okay.
yeah, it depends
IHOP.
on the buffet. Yeah, IHOP, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Denny's.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Denny's is I can't do Denny's. I don't know. I feel like
Denny's,
Denny's. Let me go back on IHOP. In fact, IHOP or Denny's, nah, I can't do either one of them on the first date. Nah,
as a first date, no. Now,
nah.
IHOP.
personally, I love IHOP's food. I mean, if I want breakfast food quick, IHOP is the spot. Denny's is where I go to if there's no IHOP available, or if I'm trying to be in and out quicker because they tend to serve food a little faster. But as a first date for either of them, no.
What if
Nah.
you guys were out just parlaying and it's like she was like, hey man, let's just, head over to IHOP for the second
Different
half of the day.
Different story. That's cool. And let me kind of drill down on it a little bit.
Yeah.
When we talk about places that we go on a first date, in my mind, I'm talking like you hit up on the phone like, hey babe, go ahead, put some clothes on. Want to take you on a first I think we should go out on a date.
Yeah.
You're just for IHOP. I'm not doing that.
Right.
If we're out, we're
Right,
doing
right.
something else. Maybe we went to the park. Maybe we went to a museum or something. We just saw an exhibit or a concert. We're leaving. We're hungry. IHOP is open. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking. But as
That's
far as
different.
this is the primary, this is the original objective. Nah.
Mhm. All right. Okay.
Okay.
The gym.
Absolutely.
Bobby, have you invited a girl on first date to the gym?
As a first date, no.
Oh,
Now, I would do a meetup. I definitely believe in and I advocate for the meetup or the quote unquote meet and greet where you get to know, where you kind of meet each other for the first time. You feel comfortable. It's a public space, just no pressure, whatever. I advocate for things like that. I know everyone doesn't do happy hours. Everyone doesn't do drinks, whatever, or tea or coffee or whatever. But the gym is definitely, especially you guys are both active, and that was part of the attraction. The gym is cool for a meetup. Like, okay, let's see if we want to actually do anything serious later on or go someplace afterwards. But as far as a first date at the gym, nah, can't
okay.
co-sign that.
All right. Church. You got a religious woman. Would you take her to church
Absolutely.
for the first date?
Absolutely.
Bobby?
As a first date, no, not as a first
Okay.
date. And and the reason why is I kind of feel this. I feel the same way about church as you do about the movies, because again, what is the purpose of the day is we're getting to know each other and everything. We go to church to worship. We're focused on the service and everything else. We're really not there to really focus on each other like that. I mean, we can be there or whatever, but that's not really the purpose of why we're here.
What if,
Mhm.
So
what if she wanted to see the God in you, and that was the way for her to see that?
that's perfectly fine. I'm all for that. I'm not saying that we shouldn't go to the church. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying as a first date, not so much.
So if
Now,
she
if we're
asked you
looking
to
to go on a date after church or whatever, or let's go to Red Lobster for a date after service, then yeah, absolutely cool. We go to the church, we have worship, whatever. Kick it, we vibe, we fellowship. Then afterwards, we head to IHOP. That's cool. That's perfectly fine. But
Okay.
again, the church as the destination, nah.
Would you like to see the demons come out of her in church if she was one of those people? Maybe the church
I'm sure
bring
she
out
would
the
decline going in the first place if it was like.
All right.
Everybody said amen. Hallelujah. She's like, amen. I'm like, oh hell. Oh, no.
All right. Next one is Starbucks. Starbucks. You got an issue with Starbucks?
Meetup? Yes. First date? No.
So Starbucks is cool, but for meetups, but not first date.
Precisely. If
I like-
anything, we would go to
I like
Starbucks
Starbucks.
first, and then afterwards we go for the date elsewhere.
I like Starbucks as to me, that's one of my preferred places to go on a first date if I'm getting to know somebody. Starbucks would be a fave of mine's, a go-to for me to do. Coffee dates.
I like coffee dates, or I use those as meetups first to find out if we're going to do something, a bit more committal later on. But I love coffee dates.
Okay.
Coffee dates,
So
great. If there's a tea house or a tea shop somewhere, that's dope. Everything doesn't have to be a happy hour all the time or 2-for-1 drinks, that kind of thing. Just get a decent coffee roast. We get different kinds. What styles you into, different teas, exchanging notes about that and conversation about that. Absolutely.
so you would do a coffee date, but you wouldn't do the Starbucks.
I have coffee dates and Starbucks in the same class. That's for me for meetup. So before we get to the date, before we even go on the actual first date,
Oh, okay. So
first
these
of
are
all, I want to, yeah,
these are
those things
secondary spots.
right. Those are like, those are the meetups. And then, after the meetup, if the vibe is intact, I've gotten to meet you, get a sense of you. I'm actually interested in, a deeper financial, a deeper time commitment as well. Then we'll go to some of these other places or whatever. But
Okay, so
before
so you're basically saying you rather do meetups before the first date. Is that what you're saying?
correct.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. All right.
Bobby, that's
Oh,
a date.
Major, what you think about that? What you think about the Starbucks and the coffee dates?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Loud
Okay,
and clear.
okay. Yeah, the Starbucks. I mean, I think that's a date. It's just a less serious date, but it's a date. That the woman is going to take that as a date. You can't have a non-date date. You know what I'm saying? Like that's that's going to confuse the hell out of a woman. You know what I mean? Like I think that Starbucks, Starbucks is actually to me a great concept for a date because number
That's what I was
one,
thinking about.
yeah, it's very light food, if any food. You're not spending a lot of money, and you're just kind of sitting down, and the focus is the two of you. You know what I'm saying? There's not really much else to focus on. It's just you two, the coffee, and the table.
Correct.
And you can really, really get into somebody at a Starbucks, coffee date, whatever you want to call it. I think that's an ideal first date. Actually, that's probably one of my top 3 or top 5 out of this whole list. Real talk.
Yeah, that's what I was telling
Great.
Bobby. That's Starbucks is my main go-to when
Yeah.
it comes to that. Great place if you're just trying to get to know somebody without any distractions. And basically, a lot of times when people are looking at you, they're probably thinking y'all in there with a business mind. They're looking at you as two
Bro.
people trying to network and build together. You know what I'm saying? So the ambiance of it also puts you in a great light as well. So that's why I say that's one of my go-tos. All right, so ice cream dates.
Hell yeah.
Ice cream dates, yes. I'm cool
Same
with ice cream
thing.
dates.
Yes.
Man,
Yes.
absolutely.
All right. Family
Especially if it's
function.
Cold Stone.
Some good coast.
Family function.
Jackson's is like going to the fair. Jackson's
Man, I
ice cream.
still got to get it.
Black
Jackson's.
owned.
I've heard
You
nothing
been-
but good stuff. I still have yet
man.
to get out there, but I've heard nothing
really?
but reviews.
Yeah, well, you need to hurry up and get a date and go out there, buddy.
Hey,
Cleveland's too.
Definitely.
heard about
nice.
Cleveland also. Yeah.
Yeah, it's popping though. It's popping.
Family functions.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
We can agree on that.
Nah, and hell nah. You have to earn
That's-
the right to meet my family.
Hell,
You know what I'm saying?
that, and for that same reason, shoot, I'll be honest. This is just my opinion, so I'm nobody, so don't listen to me. But ladies, if you talk about he wants to take you right off the bat to meet his family or whatever, or first date is at the family barbecue, whatever, you would not be wrong if you did not return his phone calls or messages or block them. No dude should be that quick Because trust me, if he goes and invites you that quickly out that he doesn't even know you from a can of paint yet around his family, first off, he does with every chick he meets. Number one.
Yeah.
And number two, I'm looking at his family sideways because even if he doesn't see anything wrong with that, I'm sure his mama, his sister, his uncle, or someone gonna look at him like, "Hey man, why you keep bringing all these girls around that don't last more than 3, 4, 5 weeks? What's going on with you, man?" The fact that nobody's uncomfortable with this, that should be a red flag. But again, that's just me. Don't listen to me.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of what up, Rich? That's a lot a lot of people saying that because my ex just told me, she told the stepdaughter, my stepdaughter as well at the time, her current daughter, she told her, "Hey, look, you out here dating. Don't bring no dude around me that ain't gonna be around you." Straight up. If that person not gonna be around you for a long time, don't even introduce me to them. When you serious about them, then bring them here. But she did say that she do want to see what their face looks like. So that's on the table regardless. I want to know what that person looked like just in case something happened to my baby girl. I know who is responsible for it. But otherwise, from just carrying around or just parlaying around and bring it to she doesn't approve of that. So I respect that. You know what I'm saying? As a parent, that's the type of honesty you want to give your children, because it also gives them motivation to know, like, hey, if this person, I don't see this person serious, then I'm not going to waste my family's time introducing them. So kudos to people who think like that. So don't think you're alone.
No.
All right. So the next one is movie night. Netflix, Hulu, etc.
That goes right back to doing that at your house. That goes right back to being at your house.
Hey, yo. Hey, salute Ricky. Man said, "I don't want to go to a high-end restaurant without knowing if she can hold utensils correctly yet." Look, man, look.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. What's going on, Jenny? What up, Jenny?
That's real.
Shout out, Jenny. You right on time, Ma. Welcome.
Let me tell you something. What he's saying is 100% correct, man. As much as we want to laugh about it, I was just talking about this the other day. We don't have the etiquette classes. I ran into a woman and I follow her on Instagram. I'm going to inbox her and get her on our show because she does etiquette classes for women, young girls.
Wow.
Remember growing up, when we used to grow up, we used to see that back in the days. They used to have commercials for it. You know what I'm saying? And it was teaching, it's always white women and all that, teaching them how to set plates and all that stuff. It was something that they very advertised way back in the day. But after like different generations, it just diminished. But I think it's very important because you got people picking up salad forks or setting the table with salad forks, and you need real forks. Like, how you expect me to grab my meat with this small fork? Like,
pause.
Hey, yo.
Pause. What just happened?
I don't expect you to do none of that. At least not around me. So you don't have to meet my expectations. I don't have any.
Oh shit.
Definitely. All right. So movie night, y'all approve of that?
No, because that goes right back to coming to my house.
Right.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Remember we talked about that? If you can't come to the house, we can't do movie night. So nah, we ain't there yet.
Okay. Florida Memorial had etiquette classes. Okay, that's what's up.
I didn't know that.
Let's go.
But they got etiquette classes. How come all them animals be coming?
Because
how come all them animals be coming out of Flomo?
You remember Flomo? Flomo is just a college. They already there. You already who you are before you get there. All right. So next one is Next one is somewhere that requires a long drive.
I would say no, because you got to be
No.
next to this person for a long period of time, and there's nowhere
That's
else
one.
to go.
That's one.
You dig?
Okay.
Number two,
That's
a
a
long
problem. You
drive,
in a small confined space? Nah.
and also a long
Can't do
drive.
it.
Maybe it's my mind because I'm tainted from all the stuff I watch and everything else I read. But in my mind, for a first date, taking someone somewhere on a long drive, that sounds like only one of y'all will be coming back. I'm just
Yeah. That's another thing. Who does that?
and where
Who even
and where
does
we live at, the Everglades ain't that far away, man. Them gators and pythons be hungry, man. Look, I'm just saying.
that?
I don't want nobody to be ending up on the first 48 that about unsolved mysteries and these crime shows. I just cool out. If y'all like each other, plenty of time for that. Y'all can road trip half the year if y'all want to. Once y'all cool, but relax. Just
True. What if, okay, so
Real talk.
bowling. Is bowling a good first date?
hell
It's a
yeah.
great first date.
Yeah, I
Great
think
first
bowling
date.
is
It's a classic for a reason.
I
Real
believe
talk.
that. So Rick said first date should be in a neutral place where we can exchange thoughts. Is bowling a good place for you to exchange thoughts? If not,
Sure.
give us some quick comments real quick and let us know. All right, so next one is nightclubs. Hell no.
Nah, that's not a good look at all. I don't know who does that either.
That's
I
wild.
don't know who does that either.
That's kind of wild.
You got some guys, the guys that don't mind your house, the guys that don't mind the movie night, probably the ones that would do nightclubs, because it all goes hand in hand.
The only way that could maybe, and I'm being generous, the only way that could maybe work to me in my mind is if maybe y'all got like a VIP booth or a private section where it's just y'all or very few number of people, and you guys can be close and you got a little bottle service or whatever. You can just privately just enjoy the shenanigans or whatever. To me, that's the closest. But even that's kind of a stretch. That's just
Or it could be like that restaurant. Can't remember what that restaurant was. It kind of get like a Hawaii effect in Broward. Oh gosh, I can't remember. They had fire. And all that
I haven't been there in a group.
My Kai.
There it is.
Yeah.
My Kai.
I haven't been there forever.
Like my Kai. Yeah. I'll exempt it if it's a my Kai type thing.
See the thing. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, man, I'm guilty of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've actually tried nightclubs on the first date, and I'm gonna tell you, man, you could really find out a lot about a chick from going on a first date to a nightclub. Real talk. It doesn't sound ideal, but keep in mind, I was a promoter. You dig?
Yeah.
And I went on this date with this one chick. She was real good looking. I've known her for a minute, but I just suspected that she was an animal. You know what I'm saying? And lo and behold, we out there, we hanging, we chilling, we kicking it. She came there to see me that night. And, as a promoter, you have to go kind of work the room, pass out your cards, whatever, shake a few hands, thank people for coming, whatever. And I explained this to her before, going there. Like, hey, I got to work the room a little bit tonight, but, you're going to be my primary focal point. And, I was dancing with her. We had our own little spot back in the cut. She just had that position where you kind of got your ass towards the guy and you looking out and, the guy sipping his drink in the back, just chilling and whatever. And she grinding up on you and all that. Nigga, I went to go pass out my little cards and shake a few hands, whatever the case may be. It couldn't have taken, and I explained this to her. Couldn't have taken me no more than 10 minutes. Man, when I came back, this grimy ass tumbleweed was standing over there. What? Another dude just planted in the same spot where I was. Like, boy, it's levels.
Yo.
It's levels of garbage. You know what I'm saying? And like that was the top level of trash to me. You dig? So she got cut like permanently right then and there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, bruh, I
Did you-
explained this for a reason. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
did she come with you or did she drive separate?
She drove separate. We agreed we were gonna
Okay.
meet there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But we agreed
smart girl.
that this right, but we agreed that this was a date. You feel me? Like we were going there to kick it with each other. We agreed on that. You dig? And then I come back and I see this girl, you know, posted up with the next dude. I mean, it was just plug and play, dog. Like, okay, well, he left, so you know, this other dude, yeah, he's a dude. Okay, shit, you you get his spot. And I mean, she's sitting there sipping on my drink that I bought, grinding up on the next man. I'm like, okay, this is when my vetting system started to come into play. You dig? Because again, there's levels. Even within the confines of discussing trash, there are levels of trash that you can be. And like that just took the cake to me. I'm like, wow, this chick, she the kind of chick, man, like, yo, you leave town for a weekend, it's a wrap. You know, she doing the Birdman hand rub as soon as your ass get on that plane.
She go on a rampage, though.
Yeah.
Just hot garbage.
Definitely dodged the bullet on that one.
Yes.
All right. Next up is hookah bar. I don't smoke.
Nothing wrong with hookah bar.
I don't smoke.
Hookah bar's
so
fly.
But it wouldn't be anything for me. If you guys smoke, then that's cool. But me, I wouldn't.
Not a hookah bar person. I would put, for better for worse, I would classify hookah bar in the same category as a nightclub personally. But so I guess if you're for nightclubs, to me that would be the same thing. If you're against it, same vibe. But
okay,
it's up in the air.
That's fair.
A bar for just drinks? No.
No, not for just
first date. No, now a meetup again, just trying to see each other for the first time, get a sense of each other. Absolutely, that's fair game. An actual date, first date, nah.
All right, Waffle House.
I have no problem with Waffle House as a later date, but the first date.
Okay. And sports events.
I think Waffle House is a perfect first date.
Yeah.
It's the perfect place. In fact, I'd say, I would say taking a woman to Waffle House on the first date might even be the answer to her prayers.
I know where you're going.
You know why I'm here.
I know why you're here.
You know why I'm here. Yes.
Let's go ahead and put it out there. You see all these birds that be talking about, the Sierra prayer. They want a man that's perfect as Sierra. They want, oh God, what did she do to get this perfect man? Oh God, girl, I'm just saying the Sierra prayer, all that shit. Sierra's first date with Russell Wilson was to Waffle House. A Super Bowl champion and a G-list celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Their first date was to Waffle House. All right? So let's just put this in perspective. You dig? So think about that. You got all these chicks talking all this bougie shit. And see, the issue with me, I'll come back to it. Just let's finish the list and then I'll come back to it. Because I gotta speak. I gotta cook. Cook.
Jenny's wild.
Sport events.
Absolutely.
I say yeah. Definitely. You guys both into sports, interested. That's a perfect first date.
Okay.
Very memorable one too, especially if you guys go the distance. That's definitely going to be something you guys get to flashback to, refer to. One of the things that makes a first date a good place especially for men, because we start talking about uh, the price tags that's affixed to it, the amount of commitment that's involved to it. One of the things that makes first date locations a lot more digestible for men, especially if they're going to be on the pricier side, is first and foremost, it needs to be a place. And you would think that this is kind of self explanatory or common sense, but it really isn't. Because a lot of dudes, when they're thinking about first dates, they're more concerned about making it enjoyable for her,
Mhm.
and they leave themselves out of the equation because you're the other part of this equation here. It's 1+1, not just one.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
good first date locations ideally are places that you would go to or you were going to anyways.
Mm.
You know, if you know, for example, that you're not big on eating seafood, you don't like seafood, you don't like fish, that kind of thing, whatever, but you try to impress her, so you're taking her to this nice, I wouldn't say high end, but at least 4-star seafood spot.
Mm.
Especially if it doesn't turn out the way you want to, maybe you find out that it's not going to work, you don't like her, or she's a boring date, or she's not going anywhere. You're going to feel
Mhm.
kind of salty because you're going to feel like you wasted your money, like you
Yeah.
wasted your time. Why? Because you know this isn't a place that you would have gone to anyways.
Correct.
Barely
Right.
anything on the menu that you like, not a place that you really enjoy. Maybe it's a little out the way. So basically, you wasted your time because this is not a place that you actually enjoyed. Maybe she enjoyed it, but you didn't. And if you're not enjoying yourself on the date, then she should or she will be feeling that as well too, which is going to make it less of an experience for her. So it should be a place that you're interested. It should be something that caters to her likes and interests, but also to your likes and interests as well too. Don't get so caught up in trying to woo and impress her that you forget to make sure that you're interested as well.
And the thing about that
There you
is, and
go.
this is why I have a big issue when women say, I like a man who just takes control, shows leadership by picking a place, telling me to be ready at 8, and telling me what attire to wear. And this is why I think a lot of this list is being brought up, because a lot of guys are telling them, hey, get ready by 8, picking you up and taking them to the places that they like versus figuring out if that's a place that they want to be there as well. So
Yeah.
there's
Real
a
talk.
downside.
There's
The
too much clout chasing.
to that.
And that's one of the reasons why I advocate for people meeting up first. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say and have said when you talk about this, well, y'all not having phone conversations, y'all not talking first, y'all should be talking for a couple of weeks, this and third. And there's some validity to that, but here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can have a conversation with people on the phone ultimately, you can do the whole FaceTime thing. I personally find a lot of that, especially the FaceTime aspect, to be kind of awkwardish. And maybe that's because I don't do a whole bunch of that myself. Maybe if I was one of the people that routinely have those conversations with my friends, whatever, it'd be a different story. Typically, if I'm on the phone with you, I'm on the actual phone with you, or texting, I meet up in person, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
My ideal thing is there's no substitute for getting to know somebody than to actually be out in the wild. So we're out in public. I'm seeing you face to face. I can touch you. You can touch me. I can hear your voice. I can see your facial expressions. I can see your body language. I see how you react to people and things in the environment. I get to actually see you being you.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
very possible to talk to somebody on the phone. You've seen pictures or whatever, and then you go meet up, and who they are in person isn't the same vibe, isn't the same feeling as the person on the phone.
Yeah.
Maybe the way
Agreed.
they choose to present themselves in person isn't what you envisioned. You can't possibly know that from just being on the phone, which is why I
True.
advocate for doing a light, non-committal thing. Meet up for drinks, meet up to Starbucks, uh, coffee date, ice cream date, something non-committal. If things are going well, hell, y'all meet up and you guys really hit it off the bat. You might say, hey, let's go and get a part two. Let's actually go on a real date now. Let's go to someplace a bit more upper level if they got space, and we can just kick it because we don't want the day or the night or whatever to end. You can do that then. But
Nice.
if y'all meet up at Starbucks saying, you know what, I'm not feeling it, this isn't going the way I want to, especially for the ladies, it's no
Yeah.
big deal to just go right to the bathroom or whatever and just, not come back or just, dismiss. You just go to the counter, pay for your whatever, and you leave. No harm, no foul or whatever. Very
Yeah.
easy to just dip. You don't have to feel obligated. Well, he spent all this on me. I guess I got to be polite and just sit here, or someone feels offended because you got We can do that again if we like each other. There's plenty of time for this stuff. Too many people are trying to squeeze everything out the orange or the lemon up front, and that's usury. If we like each other, if we are feeling each other, again, you got plenty of time for all these deeper things and these experiences that you see other people on social media having, which is what a lot of people are really chasing after. But if you don't like this person, then what's going to matter the most is being able to salvage. You found out what you need to know. We don't click. We don't work. Cancel this as quickly as possible so that we've minimized the amount of investment we've made. We've minimized how much money is being spent. We've minimized how much time is being wasted here. No harm, no foul.
Okay.
Real time.
All right. So I got a couple more lists to run through real quick. So we'll just run through them real quick. All right. So the next list, this list actually made the news, right? So we talked about this Cheesecake Factory that pretty much, okay, so they basically just redid it. So it actually made the news, right? This came off, I forgot what news station posted this list because it went viral. So they just revamped the list.
Fox 13. Local news.
No. This was an out of state. This is an out of state news source. I don't remember which one. All right. So the next list we have, the ladies strike back a new list of men that have no business dating. Period. So this list came up, and women felt like this is a list for guys who should not be dating.
Oh.
All right.
I think that was a third list.
This is the third list. No, I got a whole bunch.
Okay, because I know there was a list that came out from some dudes to clap back at the previous one, and then this one came after that one. But there's all kind of lists out now, so who knows anymore?
Yeah. All right. So this one is men with toddlers or younger. So newborns and toddlers, men with newborns and toddlers shouldn't date. Men that live with their mama shouldn't date. Men that live with their baby mama shouldn't date. DL men shouldn't date. Men that don't have a valid driver's license. Men that bank with cash out. Men that sag their pants. Men that don't take care of their kids. Men that disrespect women. Men that don't own a suit. Men that live in motels. Men that want to hold a couple of dollars till you get paid. Men's clothes in tubs. Men's clothes in tubs. I have not seen that.
Wow.
Men that can't log into anything without help. Men that gotta tell their mama everything. Men that work in FedEx Hub. Men that work for temporary service. Truck drivers. I feel offended by that. So truck drivers shouldn't date. All right. I would love to hear why truck drivers shouldn't date.
They don't like money.
It's one of the top blue collar jobs out there, but hey, them grand rising men shouldn't date. Okay.
Just say for numbers 18 and 19, just right, Anthony.
yeah. 18 and 19, right me. Them what you doing men shouldn't date. Men with multiple kids and baby mamas, men that bash women on social media, men that have men that have to load their card to add money to it, men that don't keep their locks up, men that hairline gone, but they keep holding on, men that always talk about what they used to have, married men, and men without transportation, and men that are Cowboys fans. Jesus.
That's the best one on the list.
Well, The last one I can't disagree with.
That last one is the
The
best.
last one is valid. That last one is valid.
This is just a straight misandrist list. I'm not even gonna take this shit serious. Yeah,
It is. Let me tell you. Look, and even go ahead.
Yeah, this is like low energy. I don't know. It tells me more about the women or the woman that created this list. It lets me know how much low energy men she comes across.
Yeah.
Or men that are quality that don't give her the time of day, because Grand Rising men are pretty much men of quality for the most part, and truck drivers are men of quality for the most part. So if you have a problem with those two, those are more likely men that won't give you the time of day, and you have an issue with them.
Yeah.
That's my assessment.
Let me just say something real quick, because you hit on something. And I just want to go back, I want to go back to the live that we were on this week where we were discussing this, right?
Yeah.
You were talking about how that second list is just a bunch of low energy bird babble, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which it is. But the other list is also a bunch of low energy bird babble. These women are not elevated women who, are really trying to, come up with solutions. That list was created to take a shot at men, for the places that men sometimes take women. You understand what I'm saying? Probably by a bunch of women who never even get asked out on dates, if we keeping it a buck. You understand? Because we went over the list, and most of the places that we, spoke on, we agree it's not really an issue. It's debatable on some of them, but most of them it's okay. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So first off, to go back to that conversation, there was some ladies that came on before we came on. And one of the sisters was, all up in arms about the way that men were calling, some of the women that were responding out of their name and just talking in general about, the type of women that made this list. Oh my God, you know how they like to do. They like to pretend they ain't never heard a cuss word before, right? They like to pretend they never heard somebody refer to someone in a disparaging way. You know what I'm saying? When it's a man who's doing the referring in a disparaging way. Because Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj, every other word is bitch, ho, bitch, fuck you, cunt. Every other word. Talking about other women. But when a man says it, oh Lord, they're so disrespectful, oh Lord, and they want to get fake offended, right? Okay. So she's on there getting fake offended about, oh, all the men is just talking so bad about these wonderful women. And she's not taking the time out or, using the common sense to, okay, fine, I don't agree with men, talking down on sisters either. But why are they talking down on them? You understand what I'm saying? What is the thing that was done that provoked that response? You want to ignore that altogether and somehow make this the men's fault. The men were sitting there minding their own goddamn business, not doing nothing. And some group of women just decided to make a list of all the places these shitty ass niggas like to take us on a first date and post it up so they could get clicks and laughs or whatever, and it went viral. But that whole list from the jump was misandrous bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? That was not meant to be creative or bring us together or, mend fences between men and women. That was some gender warring, misandrous bullshit. The very first list was like that. And nobody says that. In fact, another sister was like, well, it's just the internet. It ain't that serious, which was predictable because that's what they always do. Make an excuse when a woman is out of line. You understand what I'm saying? No, it's not cool. It's not just the internet. A lot of people, they're not savvy enough to, discern real life from what people do on the internet. And a lot of people carry this bullshit into their everyday lives. That's the problem. You dig? So I just wanted to throw that in there. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. None of these lists, none of these lists are coming from a good place, or the overwhelming majority of them aren't. Go ahead.
All right, so I got a couple more lists real quick. So let's see if there's some quality ones out of this. All right, so the next list I got is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Mila might have reposted this one. I took this off of Mila's page, if I'm not mistaken. The list of people who don't give a damn where y'all think you should go on a first date: adults, potential wives, men who are prioritize saving over spending, responsible adults, down-to-earth women, people with personality, smart adults, someone with critical
rewind,
and women for a husband long-term, not a simp for a nice meal, and everyone else.
Woo! Hey, I gotta repost that. This one came from a good place. Mila Renee never ceases to amaze me, bruh. Like, Mila Renee is one of the sharpest sisters out there, period. She's right up there with Erica Lachey in my view. You dig?
Yeah.
This sister is sharp.
She don't miss.
Yeah.
She don't miss. That's a quality list. That one came from a good place. I likes that shit.
I love that.
Okay. Yes.
All right. So
tell them, Jimmy.
Next list. I should probably save that one for last. Next list is this one. Okay, so this list says, all right, I took a few minutes to make a list of what's really important on the first date. Take notes. All right, so this is made by Alfredo Sanchez Ortiz. So this is coming from, I guess he would be what you would call Dominican. He looks black, right? So I was thinking,
hey, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't shit. Boy, they will fight your ass so quick. You said Dominican look black?
Yeah, you know, they always throw their black abuelas under the bus. So we know how
I ain't no nigga.
The next Dominican hair salon or barbershop you walk by, you gonna get shaped. Come on, missus.
I took a few minutes to make a list. What's really important on the first date if you really want to impress her. Be there early so you don't leave her waiting. Grab her some flowers and a small card letting her know you appreciate her time. Open doors for her. Compliment her. Wow, you look beautiful. Settle her in with a hug. A hug can determine a lot. Smell good, and she'll be thinking about you even when she gets home.
Major key alert right there.
Be attentive.
Major key.
Be attentive. Stay off your phone. Lead the date. Make sure to smile and keep eye contact. Make her laugh because a sense of humor is everything. Always walk on the outside of the street. Ask her how she's feeling and if she needs anything. Keep the conversation interesting. Stay in the moment. Remember that an ex does not exist. Be honest. Don't make the date all about you. Let her speak. Know something about the menu to recommend. Make sure you handle the whole bill. Let her know that you had a great time when wrapping the date. If she lets you drop her off, walk her to the door. Text her once you get back in your car to make sure she is safe.
Okay.
I love the list. I love the list.
Anything
except for number two.
Except number two. Grab her some flowers in a small card, letting her know that you appreciate her time. Okay, go ahead, baby.
Yeah, I have a problem with number two.
Okay.
I guess where you go.
Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, in this day and age, a lot of women, you cannot, that may signal to them that you're a simp. Unfairly as it may be, I think it's a good gesture. I think it's a kind gesture for a deserving woman. But first dates set precedents. They establish boundaries. They establish rules. And you don't want to do too much too soon.
Yeah.
Because people read that the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? If there weren't so many damaged women running around, that would be pop. You dig? I totally love the idea, but for the current dating environment that we're in, where it's been proven that 1 in 3 women go on dates just for a free meal. You understand what I'm saying? That, you know, a lot of women are running around, you know, just as you just said, banging on dudes that say things like grand rising and good morning, beautiful. You know, you need to make sure that you're not casting pearls before swine. You understand what I'm saying? You need to be very sure of that. And a first date might not be the time to do that, in my view. Everything else, and I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Making sure that you pay for everything might not be, depending on the type of woman you're dealing with, that might not be a good idea either. This is why it's important to talk to people and vet them before you even take them out. Some of these women, they feel insulted if you want to pay for everything. You understand what I'm saying? They feel like you're being controlling. I'm telling you what I know. You know, especially some of these East Coast liberal women. Oh, you hold a door open for them and they got a problem. I can do it myself. So you got to be really, really mindful. Yes, the idea is a good one, but I would caution brothers about painting with a broad brush regarding some of those things that are just just considered traditional chivalry. With some of these modern women, they don't. Not only do they not take kindly to it, you dig? Some of them just outright don't like it. You know what I'm saying? They consider it an affront to so-called independence. So just free game right there. You dig?
All right. So Jenny says she likes number 7. Be attentive. Stay off your phone.
Yes,
I agree.
I was going to say, actually, we can go ahead and pull this back up again. There's a few of those that I think are absolutely great for men, but also apply both ways. One of them is being number 7. Number 7, while it can definitely apply to dudes, that one also I think tends to be more applicable to women. Yeah, I know that we've had issues before in conversations and dialogues and social media with posts going viral about women loving to take pictures of the food and all this other stuff, and everything has to, you know, be an IG boomerang this or whatever. And I've seen some women defend it because, of course, you know, they just got to defend that which is indefensible, saying, well, she could be a content creator. What if she's doing this because this is part of how she gets her metrics up? Which is goofy.
Hashtag always an excuse.
Really, always an excuse. But let's go ahead and just entertain that for a second and give that some credibility. Okay, she's a content creator, or she makes money. Part of how she makes money is by taking videos like this. Okay, cool. First off, if that's the case, that means that that's work, which means she is now working while on a date with you, and she should be focusing on you. Correct. If that's the case, let me go ahead and pull out my laptop and start responding to emails or taking calls and making business deals while I'm at the table then. Since we can obviously be on a first date or even a second date and work while we're there at the table. Fair game, right? Don't think so. If you're here for me, you're here for me. If I'm here for you, I'm here for you. It should be my attention on you, your attention on me. And if you can manage to muster up this section of time, because this was preordained, you scheduled and everything, if you are unable to etch out this little period of time just for me, then we shouldn't be dating. And truth be told, I don't think you should be dating. You got too much going on. You're too busy for dating. So that's how I feel about number 7. I feel the same way about number. Which one is it? Why'd I miss it? Oh, number 13. Quiet as it's kept. The idea that men do not know how to hold a conversation is humorous, because I can assure you, just as many women are unable to maintain a conversation.
Real
Correct.
A
talk.
lot of women are very clueless about the mechanics of conversation. See, people say a lot of things, but don't actually understand what it is they're saying.
Correct.
True.
They just know these things. Oh, communication's good, whatever, but they have no idea what the nuts and bolts are, what makes things work, and how they operate. They just say things because it sounds good or because they're genuinely ignorant of how these things operate.
Correct.
In order to have
Mhm.
conversation, you have to have knowledge, insight, you have to pay attention, and you also have to be able to know how to pick up my cues. If I'm having a conversation with you and I'm giving you cues and you're missing the cues, then
It's not
this becomes a
conversation.
one-sided affair. It's not conversation. If I'm
Mhm.
asking you a
Yeah.
question and I hear this, and one of the biggest indicators of this for me is when people say they hate small talk, because I can understand that.
Mm.
Small talk isn't the most exciting thing on earth, but especially this is the first time we're really getting to know each other. Small talk is a necessity.
Mhm.
Mhm.
No, it doesn't have to be,
It's a-
how's the weather going today? It's good. Or how about them Dolphins? It doesn't have to be that, but there has to be some light, basic stuff to create entry points because I don't know what to talk to you about.
Correct.
Don't
Right.
you like to have deep conversations? And if I try to discuss the latest happenings with a NASA rover or astronomy with you, look at me like I have three heads. Well, you say you like
Yeah.
deep conversations, you're gonna go there. I don't like to talk about that stuff, but I can have the small talk to build on to get to finding out what the deeper things are that go further below the surface. But
Yeah.
people just, I don't
Mm.
like to talk all day. So people say things and don't know what it is they're actually saying. They want things, but don't know what exactly it is that they want.
Correct.
So
Right.
if I ask you a question, I give you answer. Okay, cool. I can feed off that. Ask him questions right back.
Yeah.
The dude should
True.
be the only person trying to find out about you on the date. Aren't you curious? You don't want to know who this is that you're sitting at the table with? Conversation is a
Mhm.
two-way street. If any one
Right.
person's carrying the conversation, it's not going to work. You need to get in the game.
That's why I'm
Right.
so strong on reciprocal energy. I'm a
Right.
big advocate on reciprocal energy in all aspects of any interaction you're dealing with. I do
Mhm.
want to say number 21. If she lets you drop her off, walk her to the door and text her once you get back in your car to make sure she is safe. Um, I will say, as a woman, to make sure that you tell him to text you when he gets home so he is safe. That's your part
Also,
on the reciprocal energy of both of y'all safety. And it lets him
absolutely.
know that you really enjoy him if you want to know more about his safety. So I just wanted to add that into 21. All
Indeed.
right?
No, that's important.
Um,
Safety is job one.
Yeah.
Real
absolutely.
talk.
I personally have a policy where if I'm dropping a woman home, and I don't even just do it for my girl, the girl I'm dating or talking to, but I also do it for my female homegirls. I do it for my boys too. If I'm dropping somebody off
Mhm.
or we're dropping off, my policy is I don't drive off until I see the lights come on inside. So
Mhm.
Real
you go
talk.
try the door closed because you do. I mean, the odds aren't high, but you only need it to happen once before all hell breaks loose. You have some
Mhm.
cases where people are followed inside their homes, or there might be someone there waiting inside. The lights never get on. If I'm posted up
Mhm.
there
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 minutes past, I'll call a text and say, "Hey, you good inside there?" "Oh yeah, I am." And then once I get that confirmation,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and take out because in case anything about to go down, I need to know if I need to bust up in there. We need to get busy or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So that's
Right.
my policy on that. Also, to
And
tack on to what you said, Major, for number 2, I agree,
yeah.
especially with the card thing. And
Mhm.
I like the idea of the card. I actually want to be all in with all of that. But that's the romantic in me. The
Yeah.
practical
Mhm.
dude, the old savvy dude that's been around and lived some life and seen and heard some things, understands exactly what you said, that can be taken the wrong way or send the wrong message, unfortunately. Because
Yeah.
yes,
Real talk.
because in reality is absolutely. I'm very thankful that any woman I take out on a date is willing to share her time and to make that sacrifice thing, because there are other things that she can be doing. I'm very appreciative of that. But that should also be the other way around too. I have things to do as well. My time is valuable to me, even if I'm wasting my time. I don't like people deciding how my time is spent. Even if I do nothing but sleep all day, that's my time. I have the right to decide how I want to spend it. So she should likewise be thankful and grateful that I'm sacrificing my time, which is the most valuable resource that we have, to be with her. So I like the idea of sending her a card because I understand that for a lot of people, even subconsciously, that sends the idea that your time matters more than my time. And that ain't the case. Your time doesn't mean more than mine, but my time is more valuable than yours. Our time is of equal worth. Now, the whole bouquet of flowers, bit of a commitment. I wouldn't do that. Now, what I would say is go ahead and just go get the single rose, get the single flower. If she mentions in conversation there's another flower she likes, whatever, go ahead and get her one, or maybe I would say no more than 3. One is a bit more iconic. No more than 3. Get her 3 roses, get her 3 carnations, 3 tulips. No more than 3. 1 is fine. That's what I would say. I do like those touches.
So Jenny wants to add in a nugget for the women. She wants to take it back to what was that movie that
I know what she's gonna say because I was thinking it too. I just didn't bring it up.
I forgot the name of the movie.
Bronx Tale, right?
Bronx Tale. There you go.
I know.
She wants to give us a Bronx Tale nugget. And if he opens the door, the car door for you, make sure you reach over and open his car door and unlock it so he could get it. So a little Bronx Tale.
Know the classic. Respect the classics.
Yes.
That's G. My wife does that. Yeah.
Nice.
That's G.
All right. So next list I want to get to. I got a couple more real quick. This was another list that came up. Here's a list of things men refuse to pay for if we are not married. So here's what a guy said to women. If we're not married, this is what we should not be doing. We should not be paying your bills. We should not be paying your rent, your house, car, note, none of that. We should not be paying for your hair, nails, bags, purses, jewelry, designer clothes. We should not be paying for vacation, furniture to go in your crib. We should not be paying for plastic surgery. We should not be paying for bottles at the club. I don't know what the hell Za and pills are. I don't know. Y'all educate me on that. Za's
that's some low energy.
Okay.
That's some hood monkey shit, bro. That ain't
okay. All right,
we civilized gods in here, man. That's some hood monkey bullshit, bro.
When I saw the list, just when I saw that one item, I already knew who it was that came from this list. Like, yeah, this was the nigga.
So car repairs, food for another man's kid, gas, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, snacks, and your ties.
Yo, that last one happened, man. I felt when I saw that last.
Okay,
I hope to God ain't no dudes out here doing this. Lord.
Y'all agree with this? If he's not married, he should follow this list.
Absolutely. Well, for the most part, I mean, there's some things that, like, let's say y'all dating, you could buy a purse. You know what I'm saying? You could buy some perfume or whatever the case may be. But to me, most of the things on this list, even if you're married, you don't need to be paying for. Like, to me, you're a low-level bum chick if you can't pay for things that have to do with your own personal grooming. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to give you money for your hair and nails, cool. But if you're a woman who expect a man to pay for your hair and nails, that's low-level bum chick shit to me. I just don't subscribe to that, you know. And no woman I've ever been with has expected me to pay for her hair and nails. That's basic grooming.
That's nuts.
That's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you want me to wash you 2 in the morning? Like, really? You want me to bathe you?
To be and some of this is purpose, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
Refusing to pay for any of these things if we're not married, I don't necessarily agree with that, but what I will say is this:
Mhm.
there's levels to this. There's levels to
Yeah.
everything in
Right.
life.
Right.
As a man, as any man, the
Mhm.
only thing that we are obligated, I'm gonna rewind and say it again. The only thing that we are obligated to provide and protect for
Mhm.
is that which is under our last name.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like
That is
Dame
true.
Dash said, like Dame Dash said, I hustle for my last name, not my first name. I am
Mhm.
only
Real talk.
obligated to do for that which has my last name. If the
Mm-hmm.
woman doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have my last name, if she ain't married to me, if the children's the babies, probably love the kids, but if the babies don't have my last name behind them,
Yeah.
I'm not obligated to do a damn thing for any of them.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
real.
that doesn't mean that, if you're dating a young lady, whatever, that you can't pay for her nails or her hair, whatever, or buy her a
True.
nice bag, whatever. You can do those things if
Yeah.
you want to. You can even take it upon
Right.
yourself and say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna put you on a budget. I got this covered for you. That's fine." He can do that
Mhm.
if he want to, but
Yeah.
that is out of the
Mm-hmm.
kindness, charity, and goodness of his heart. That's not
Yeah.
nothing
Real
he's
talk.
responsible for.
Correct.
Even
Mm-hmm.
as a husband, he's not necessarily responsible for some of those things. That's up to him. But
Right.
please believe, if a dude's saying, "You know what? I'm gonna go pay for your nails. Hey babe, you're gonna go out someplace real nice this weekend. Go ahead. Here's some money for your hair, your nails to get it done. If I want you looking extra good when you're out there with me." If he does that, the response, and not just externally, but the response internally, should be one of gratitude, gratefulness,
Real talk.
appreciation,
Yes.
knowing that he doesn't owe me this. He doesn't have to do me this. And if he doesn't
Yeah.
do this
Mm-hmm.
for me, that shouldn't cause me to penalize him. Well, I'm not going to talk to him, or I'm going to give him an attitude because he doesn't do this thing for me. No. If he does it for
Right.
you, yay. That's awesome. You go, girl. Good for you. If he
Yeah.
doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
likewise,
Correct.
yay. Awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think
Nima agrees with you.
yeah, Nima makes a great point, right? And this is what I also agree
What's
with
up,
as
Dima?
well. Because I think a lot of times people don't look at it on the other side of the spectrum as well. Um,
Yeah.
she says most men like doing things for their girlfriends. Some men enjoy doing a lot of these things. No, he's not obligated, but a lot like to do it. And I will say
And
Absolutely.
that's
this.
fine.
I will say this, right? We have this constant chasing the dog chasing his tail argument, right? On both sides, where
Yeah.
we would go back to the old saying that why give away the cow if you can
And the
get the
milk
milk
is
for
free.
free, right?
Absolutely.
But
Mm-hmm.
my thing behind that, I think, is one of the most silliest sayings. And why I would say that is, right? Major, you're married.
Yeah.
A lot of people are married, right? Before you got
Mm-hmm.
to that stage, you were doing things for your wife as a form of you being a husband without the title of it. The ring
Exactly.
only solidified documents, but it never solidified you as a man in itself. You were always a husband mentally before you even signed the papers. Your wife
Precisely.
was doing things as a wife before she even got the ring, before she even
Yeah.
got elevated to that level. So a
Absolutely.
lot of times when we sit back and say these things, oh, I shouldn't do this before, if I'm not married to you or this and that, you're doing basic things that people will sit back and realize that will make you a good husband or wife when you look at all the things that you're bringing to the table. If I know you could cook good, if I know you over here and you tell me I come off a hard day's work and you're massaging me down or you're soaking my feet or doing a manicure or a facial massage for me when I get home, these
Yeah.
are things that a wife does, and you're not
Yeah.
even a wife and you're doing this. So guess what? I'm like,
Real
shit, I'm
talk.
not gonna let you go. I'm gonna elevate you.
Real
Vice,
talk.
you know what I'm saying? Vice versa, And I think we got to take
Listen.
that into consideration and into thought when we say these things. because you want to see what a person brings. This is why people always say, what do you bring to the table? You notice people of quality don't ask that. You know why? Because they know that actions tell them what they bring to the table. And I'll land my plane on that.
True.
Indeed.
No, bro, let me tell you, we need to understand that when we enter this dating and relationship conversation, when we enter that realm, you got a lot of people that don't think. They just repeat some shit they heard somebody else say because it sounds smart, and they're dumb. You dig?
Yeah.
Like, let's just call it what it is. A lot of people just don't think before they speak. They open their mouth and shit just comes out. You dig? And you got to be wary and very careful of those people. Now, there is a valid argument to be made within that statement when you're dealing with a predatory person.
Yeah.
You dig? When you're dealing with a predatory person and somebody who's just out there, who's what we say on our energy show or on our emotional maturity show, an energy vampire.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with an energy vampire and you're dealing with someone who is just, a succubus and, is just volatile and, who victimizes people and preys on people, a predatory person, a predator, shout out Jada Pinkett Smith. When you're dealing with somebody like that, you got to be careful because for that person, you can't give them too much because they're just going to take advantage of you. They're just there to use you anyway. You understand what I'm saying? But if you've done your proper vetting, I'm going to say this till I'm blue in the face. You've done the proper vetting before even getting involved with this person. You've already determined that this is a person of sound mind and body that is at least a quality person that, has your best interest at heart and is coming to you in good faith and wanting to get to know you. You dig? So there's no need to be so overprotective of yourself if you've done the necessary work, if that makes sense.
Correct.
Yeah, I can think that. I personally believe that those things on the list, some things obviously I don't do or agree with period whatsoever. But some of those things on the list are really fine to do. I do believe, however, and for the people that don't subscribe to marriage, they feel like it's just a piece of paper, we don't need to get the state involved, then that's a different set of rules that they're operating by. So it is what it is. But for those people who are marriage-minded, and they do believe in the importance of the nuptials and going ahead and making it official, I do believe that there should be, and that's not to be a bunch, but there should be at least a few things that are off the table. There should be a level of expectation that comes with marriage. Because if you're literally doing everything else but getting married, then there really isn't much of an expectation or much of a reason to jump to the next level, because you essentially are married without the paper, and by your actions, you have turned marriage into just a piece of paper. However, when you said it like, once you've done these things I only do for a husband. These things I only do for a wife. Then that creates that expectation where, okay, well, I'm ready for the next level of this togetherness with you, because it's a process, right? It's I don't want to say it's a ritual per se, but it sort of is a ritual. It's a rite of passage. Once you've completed this step, now there's a greater level of access that you have. If you're pledging in a fraternity or whatever, you might be a pledge and you're in there, but you can't talk about the organization. You can't let anyone know what you're doing. You're kind of there, but not really there. You can maybe go to some parties or some events, but you're not really in there. But then once you paid the dues, you've gone through the process, you cross and you go on the other side. Now you're official. Now you have greater access, and it means that more, because as people, ceremony matters to us. There's a reason we get excited when we go through graduation, whether it's our kids graduating to elementary school, their elementary school graduation to middle school. Definitely when they have the high school graduation, that's a big event because it signals a transition to the next level, newer things, bigger things. There's nothing fancy and nothing special, nothing significant about marriage or any of those ceremonies if everything that you can do at that level is already accessible.
Mhm.
If I can go out and get a job, if I can go out and get to college or whatever, and I didn't have to graduate first, the graduation is a big deal. That's just a day where I just waste time. But it's because it signifies that you're going to a higher level that's important. So, in order for that to make sense from a marriage perspective, there should be at least a couple things that's off the table first. Like we can go as far as this and no further. If you want it, I got to get the lady her props. Like she said, if you like it, then you got to put a ring on it.
Fair. Well, let me just put this in, and we can just put a cap on it with this, man, because I could prove all this is bullshit. You know how I can prove all this is bullshit? I can prove all this is bullshit because people out here talking about this and that. Oh, I'm not doing that in case I'm married. I'm not doing that unless I'm married. Until I'm married, but your ass will go and pop out a goddamn baby without being married, won't you? Won't think twice about it.
And
then a second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth one without being married. So until you can
and that's definitely one of the things that should be on the list of things that's off the table.
That should be the number one thing. We got millions and millions. 70% of Black children are born out of wedlock. And you talking this, I won't do this before I get married bullshit. You saying that because you don't want to do those things. Let's just call it what it is and stop bullshitting. You don't want to do those things. So you're using the fact that you're not married as an excuse. But you'll sure as hell go pop out a baby. You understand? You'll sure as hell go out here and make sex tapes.
I disagree.
And send all these exclusive lewd pictures to niggas that you just met. You understand what I'm saying? But you want to bitch and moan about not doing something before you marry. Come on, bro.
I couldn't disagree with you if I wanted to.
It's all bullshit.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Look, if you don't want to do it, say you don't want to do it. Don't use marriage as an excuse. That's all I'm saying.
Period. Point blank.
I'm just saying.
I wish I had my tea to sip on right now.
All right. So let's get off into our first topic, which is our first trendy weekly topics, right? All right.
Let's go.
So I noticed something that I saw which sparked my interest, which was, what is micro cheating, right? So as men, sometimes sometimes as men we don't understand some of these terminologies, and
I think I tagged you in that too.
You tagged? Okay, cool.
I think so.
So I thought this was very interesting, right? So what is micro cheating? So I'm just going to show a list of things, and then we can definitely discuss it. But this are some things that men and women that you might subconsciously do that don't realize it's micro cheating, right? All right. So next one, the first one is deleting messages, right? Next one is secretly messaging someone, right? Next one is complaining about your partner to other people. Next one is seeking friendship to other people you find attractive.
Okay.
Next one is maintaining contact with your exes or people you used to talk to.
Okay.
Next one is lying about your relationship status online and offline.
Real talk.
Next one is liking stories or posts that someone, your partner, is uncomfortable with. Next one is trying to impress someone who isn't your partner. Next one is having secret friendships. Next one is stalking someone you find attractive. Next one is turning to someone else when your relationship is rocky. The next one is always liking and commenting on someone's pic. And the last one is thinking or daydreaming about someone you have a crush on. So I saw this list and I thought that was interesting. So I just wanted y'all take on that.
Wow, that's heavy.
Yeah,
Boss,
I thought that was very
all of
interesting.
that, all of that. Real
Yeah.
talk. I
Mhm.
don't do those things. You dig? Like on some real shit. And this is part of my vetting process. Like I talk about things like that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I legit talk about things like that. You know, do you still keep in touch with your ex? You know what I'm saying? Are you one of these people who, you know, you need to post online to get attention and all this type of shit, whatever the case may be? That's part of my vetting process. Literally within the first 7 days, I get
Mhm.
into those type of topics with people because people like to do little slick shit, little sneaky
Mhm.
shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And act like it's nothing. And then when you say something about it, oh, you're insecure. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, I require full dedication. Period. You dig?
Yeah.
And like, if you ain't ready to do that, I'm not to do it for you. You got to choose hard if you're gonna choose me. You
True.
dig? And I always tell guys, you know, in order to eliminate a lot of the bullshit that a lot of guys complain about later on down the line, you need to talk about this shit at the door.
Mhm.
At the door, day one. You need to, hey, is this a problem? Do you be on this? Knock it all out early. See, guys be having this fear of loss. And when I
Yes.
became a
Yes.
free man, I no longer have fear of loss. We
Yeah.
could roll or you could stroll. I don't give a goody goddamn either way. I like you. I'm feeling you. I
Should have bought a
would
Honda,
like.
but I got a Corolla. Hallelujah.
You dig?
Mama say I'm
You
talking
dig?
about
You
you
know what
suck.
I'm talking about?
Yes,
Like,
Lord.
can the church say amen? Can the
Yes,
church
who the
say
Son
amen?
has set free,
Mhm.
he is free indeed. Preach, brother.
Yo,
Yes.
Yeah.
you dig?
Look,
You gotta
Yeah.
be
look.
that fear of loss will doom you. You
Yeah.
gotta say, hey, look, I like you, I'm feeling you, but if you're gonna be in this program, if you're gonna be in this sector, it's certain shit
Yeah.
that ain't gonna fly. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And really listen to her responses. If she's flaky or she waffles or I don't know about that. Oh, I don't know, man. You know, I do kind of talk to my ex. Bye. You know, no. And yeah, we still good friends. You know, we was together for 5 years, and you know, we don't kick it no more, but we still good friends. No, no. I don't care how fine you are, how big your ass is, how supple your breasts are. I don't care. You
Not
understand?
supple.
Certain things, they're not going to fly, and it's for a valid reason. Because if we're going to really be about us, about this, that's it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how it should be. So a lot of people do this little sneaky shit. And, you know, this is how, you know, some of these, where they get that phrase, that mommy's baby, daddy's maybe. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I got a homeboy. They tease this man all the time about how his daughter looked like his best friend.
Mm.
Just saying. You dig? And the mama talking about, oh, she looked like him because I hated him so much when I was pregnant. I bet you did. You dig? It just don't make
Mhm.
no. His mama say the kid
Yeah.
don't look nothing like him. You
Yeah,
dig?
Yeah.
hate him.
It's
Hate him.
just funny. Some
AKA,
funny shit be happening.
AKA, I can't stand you, Jody. Mhm.
Yeah. That type of
That
shit.
kind of hate.
All right. So
Um,
extend your car life. What link you're looking for? Are you looking for your link to jump on air, or I don't know what link you're looking for, but explain that in
What
the
link?
comment.
What link?
I don't know.
What link you talking about, bro? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but whatever link
but
he's
yeah,
looking for, just let us know.
while he's looking for, or while he's
Yeah.
responding to that,
Right.
I would say the overwhelming majority of
Yeah.
that list is 100% valid and Teflon and bulletproof. A couple of those things I would say might be subject to the particular people in the relationship, because ultimately the relationship is your relationship. So whatever
Yeah.
confines, whatever boundaries you set in place are the boundaries. If one or two of those things on the list aren't a big concern for you, or if you have guidelines for it, as long as both people agree to it, it is what it is. It's your world. However, the concept of micro cheating, which I only learned, I as soon as I saw it, I tagged y'all to it because I thought it was very interesting. Never heard about it before, but I like the concept because cheating, for the most part, we understand to be, of course, when you in the act with somebody, and some would even say if you're planning to get in those situations with another person. But what we fail to understand is that there's a lot of things that leads up to this.
Mm-hmm.
And so people will say things like, cheating isn't an accident, cheating isn't a mistake. But at the same time, a lot of these actions before now, most of us would never have considered necessarily to be micro cheating or whatever. But all these things will take, if you follow some of them, can definitely take you down a pathway that's going to lead to cheating. And by the time you get to the point where it's time to cheat, it's almost impossible to not open the door. We have to be careful about that. It's very easy. And, sometimes, especially people who've never been in a position, they don't understand how cheating works. They'll just toss a blanket thing on it. Well, cheating is cheating. You chose to cheat, period. But many times, whether it's things that we've done or our partner has done, sets the stage for it.
Yeah.
So, if you got ground, for example, you got the ground outside, whatever. If you just go, you got like a whole bunch of rocky soil out there, some weeds and stuff, and you toss a seed out there, probably nothing's going to go ahead and grow in there. But if you have done things to cultivate that soil, you got it all nice and rich, it's nice and damp, good quality soil out there, no weeds to choke, whatever. And the seed happens to miss and fall there because things happen. As a couple, y'all going to have disagreements. Sometimes there might be issues that go on. Maybe you all are separated for work purposes. Someone's got to travel and they have to be away for the other person for a while. If the soil is right for this, you haven't done the due diligence to protect that soil. Now it's a lot easier for certain things to happen. Before long, you find out, well, I'll be damned. I never thought this would be the case. So you got to be mindful of avoiding those things before you even get there. So cheating isn't as crazy as you slipped and tripped and fell on somebody's genitals. But at the same time, it's not this process where someone hands you a contract that says, I hereby choose to cheat in this moment. It doesn't work that way. Sometimes it's a whole lot more subtle. Before you realize what happens, boom, that's it. So I thought that this was very important and very critical for understanding that cheating is a process. Cheating, I would say, is a conveyor belt. And if you're not careful, if you miss and hop on, and if you don't realize soon enough that you're on this conveyor belt, before long you're gonna reach your destination, and now you got a whole mess in your hands that you got to deal with.
Correct.
Real talk. No doubt.
All right.
We got a couple people in asking for the link. I'm not sure if Extend Your Car Life was talking about the link to join
the panel. Okay.
Jesus TV said Jesus TV says he definitely wants the link to join the panel. So he wants to come in and say something. Panelists, people who are calling in to ask a question or, voice a concern, we ask that you just keep it brief. You know what I'm saying? And we'll say what you got to say, and we'll address it and discuss your point. Go ahead, Aaron.
All right, let me drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link in there, and you guys can come behind the scenes. If you want to join in, just click the link, and you'll be in the backstage, and we'll have you up. Like Major said, we'll give you a couple minutes to say what you have to say and dissect what you need to dissect.
And preferably camera on. Preferably camera on.
Okay. Interesting. A new term to define cheating. Cheating is cheating. Micro cheating ain't nothing new. It's still cheating. Correct. But we just wanted to show you. We wanted to show you the different forms of how they will still classify it as such, regardless of the terminology that they use. So when people use it, at least you're familiar with what it is because we discussed it here on the show. All right. So next thing I wanted to get into was the question of the day. And the question of the day was, men, do you guys feel that a man who splits bills with his wife, whatever percentage, it could be 70-30, 60-40, 50-50. Do you feel those men are less of a man than a man that pays 100% of the bills in the household?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I mean, I'm gonna breathe before I answer this question because, boy, let me tell you that they have, it's an open box. We want to answer people's questions, but people have beat this dead horse till it just can't breathe no more. Boy, people be beating the hell out of this dead horse. What's up? What'd you say?
Nima said that she's a cheater. I can't believe it.
She said she didn't know under the term, she didn't know she was a micro cheater.
I need you to get delivered, Nima.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Major.
No, men who pay half of the bills or less even, that doesn't make you any less of a man. We have to get away from this mentality that how much money you put in the game necessarily makes you more of or less than a man. You know what I'm saying? I would say that it is a best practice to assume the brunt of the cost for your home, because as a man, you're made to kind of be the workhorse. You understand what I'm saying? That is part of your responsibility, but some different strokes for different folks. Some people have it worked out where 50-50 works for them. It makes sense. It still enables them to win. And, women who aren't comfortable with 50-50, well, how do you feel with 0 and 100? Because a lot of y'all, that's the situation that you're going to be in if you're not comfortable with 50-50. You're going to pay 100% of the cost. And, it really, when people split bills, people forget that that's a win. You understand what I'm saying? You have someone else assuming half of the living cost associated with your existence. Period. So any way you slice it, that's a win. Let's say that it's 55-45. At what point do you draw the line? If it's 55, if 50-50 isn't good enough, what about 55-45? What about 49-51? How is that any different from 70-30? You understand what I'm saying? Like I was saying, I think on a past show that we had to get out of each other's way and find ways to win instead of going back and forth over, the 50-50 type of thing or whatever the case may be. No, it absolutely does not make you less of a man. However, I do feel that as men, we have an obligation to assume most of the responsibility for the cost in our home when we are capable. A lot of times, the man might not be capable of, 70-30 or 80-20, whatever the case may be at that time. Most of these things are adjustable as time permits. You understand what I'm saying? If you've been a leader for your household and, you get injured and you can't work, now what? You just had to take a 30% cut and you're on long-term disability from your employer. Does that make you less of a man? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make you less of a man, but I do understand the concept. If you are not putting forth your best effort to, be the financial leader of your home, I would say that makes you less of a man. But in and of itself, going 50-50 on bills, no, I don't feel that makes you less of a man.
All right, cool.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one, Major, wholeheartedly. First off, I really want us to get out of this concept of relationship dynamics in this regard, determining whether or not you're less of or more of a man. And if for no other reason, it's because I'm still waiting on someone to tell me what absence of anything results in a woman being less of a woman in a relationship.
How about that?
If a man isn't paying all the bills, he's less of a man. Okay. If the woman isn't cooking for the household at least the majority of the week, is she less of a woman?
Mm.
If she's not giving
No
up
one
the
ever said
yams, her significant other, as frequently as he likes, does that make her less of a woman?
No one ever says that.
If she is not cleaning the whole household, if the baseboards ain't clean, shout out to my brother, Intellectual Sniper JC. He dropped a post about that the other day, and that thing went supernova, boy. All the wasps, all the yellow jacks, the hornets came out the woodwork for that boy.
I'm sure.
But if she can't, if her baseboards are unclean, if she ain't got the house spick and span, is she less of a woman? No one says these things, and if you suggest it, then all of a sudden you're everything short of the devil, and maybe the devil as well. But you can cast these spirits on men, and it's just all good. But no,
right.
I do not believe that it makes him less of a man or more of a man if he does it. Now, I do believe whether or not he pays all the bills or whether the bills are split and to what degree, I believe that those different things can help affect the dynamics of the household. And that's based on individuals, what they prefer, what they desire to have, or what they're looking to get as an outcome. But as far as is he less of a man for paying all the bills or for splitting them? Not at all. That has nothing to do with his manhood whatsoever.
All right.
I will say that it should be, especially as you listed before, it is considered to be the primary role of the man to be the provider of the household. I do believe that the man should definitely be contributing financially to the household as well as other areas as well, because finances aren't the other contribution. But I also believe that a man should take it upon himself to, especially considering that we're in these times that we're in, the man should be taking it upon himself to try to increase his salary, his income, as much and often as possible. Not saying that he needs to be breaking his back and kill himself to do it, but a man definitely needs to be thinking ahead of the curve, seeing the way things are going and realizing that, you know what, things right now are barely tenable. There might be come a time when where we are right now isn't going to cut it. Because cost of living is not going down, it's slowly growing upwards. And certain fields, as technology advances, are going to be phased out altogether. So certain jobs that you're working are going to become obsolete. And you can't simply say, well, I just lost my job, I can't do anything. You have to look at this, you have to look at the times where you're at and say, you know what? This career ain't cutting it. There's no growth in here. There's no real security. Maybe AI is coming, it's going to make your job, non-essential. Go ahead and start looking at other fields that you can get into that are more lucrative, that give you more security. Maybe where you live isn't sufficient, cost of living is too high for your area. Maybe you need to look at relocating the family someplace where cost of living is less. So then we should be actively on a regular basis looking at these things and making decisions and acting accordingly, because as the head of the household, that means that we should be the ones running point and making these decisions with some intelligence and not just waiting for things to come and hit us before we have to react to them, because that is not a good leader right there. That is not a good head of household. You only make moves once, you're on the reactive tip, not on the proactive tip.
All right. That's what's up. So we're going to go on to the next segment. You guys could wrap this up in a short time. It's a question that was posed to us. So we go into our next segment, which is Dear Men. Dear Men, I advise if you, I would like to know, is this a good thing to do? Yes or no? But I would advise men to take your 21 days leave from work. Go home and tell your woman that you lost your job. Explain further that there was some losses and you had to use your savings to settle. Spend the next 14 days observing how you are treated at home and discover who you married. Is that a good advice? Is that something we should do to test our loved ones? Yes or no? What do you have for that?
No.
To quote my brother Randy Jackson, it's a no for me, dog.
That's a hard no for me.
It's actually a hell no for me. That's
Nah, bro. Nah. Look, we don't need to play games. You know what I'm saying? Like those of y'all that know me know I am a hardcore, straight up balls to the walls person. I don't play. I'm very direct, very upfront. You know what I'm saying? If you need to test your relationship, just test it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Just straight up, there will ways will come naturally to test your relationship is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Without you, creating some type of disaster. You know what I'm saying? To test how strong your relationship is or not. That'll blow up in your face, bro. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But when those situations come up, make sure that you monitor what's going on. I'll give you an example with my wife. About a month and a half into dating my wife, I lost my job. Great job. You know what I'm saying? About 2 months. Great job. I just bought a house. I mean, it was the perfect storm. COVID-19 had just dropped. I was working for a cruise line. And you know what happened to them cruise line jobs? I was doing IT for a cruise line. It was gone.
Yeah.
And so, that's a situation. That's a major event that's affecting your life. But like most major events that affect your life, it's not necessarily the event, but how you handle it that's going to determine, what you're worth. You know what I'm saying? And whatever the case may be, and how she handled it. And I paid attention to that as well. She didn't bat an eyelash. Nothing about her changed. Nothing. In fact, the few things that did change about her changed for the better. She was more attentive. She was, asking, if I needed help with this, is everything okay? Can I help you, in any way finding a new job? You need me to update your resume for you, whatever the case, whatever I needed, she was there for. You understand? That's how you test your relationships. The smallest thing come up, when somebody on the outside of your relationship comes at you funny. You understand what I'm saying? We've been at family events before, whatever the case may be. Somebody will say something, I'll come to her defense. I know that it's just family and they're not really going at her, but I still come to her defense. That's my wife. You know what I'm saying? Unc look at me like, okay, Unc look at me like, okay, this nigga real. Yay, you dig? It's like, okay, this nigga real. That's what you want to be. You know what I'm saying? You got to show that you are ride or die, period. If you banging on me, if you ranking on her, I'm ranking on you. You know what I'm saying? And we just go get down like that. I could play the dozens too. Let's go. You feel me? You have to be unwavering. You dig? And that's what it is. We got some things in the comments that they wanted to share. And I'm going to pass it back to you or Bobby. They want us to go over some of the comments. So go ahead.
All right. Real quick, what I'd say to that is, no, that is an absolutely dusty thing to do. I'm not going to say that it was necessarily forged with dusty intentions, but the result is definitely dusty. If anything, and I'm gonna flip the script because definitely got looking out for the ladies as well too. I would say that if your man comes to you, ladies, and lets you know that he's lost his job or whatever, and he's he's lost a job and he's going to be out of work for a little bit or whatever, I would advise that you flip that into an opportunity where you can vet him and see what kind of dude you're with, what's under the hood, and see how he responds. Yeah. Because see, here's the thing though. We talk about we want women or period that the relationship should be for better, for worse, in sickness and health, richer or poor, and all the other stuff. But here's the thing. You, the man, you're not just a man, you're the man. And most importantly, you're her man. So if you want to be considered a leader, if you want to be considered the head of the household, that dude, if you want to be looked at as him, he's him, then tragedies are an opportunity for you to go ahead and flex on them.
It is.
The funny thing is, when everything is all cool, Superman is Clark Kent. He's out here doing journalism. He's reporting on a brand new bakery opening downtown. When everything is cool, Batman is Bruce Wayne, and he's up at work at board meetings, and then he's getting lit at parties that night. All right,
Yeah.
Mhm.
where everything is all cool, relaxed. But when crisis hits, that's when all the day job stuff goes away, and now it's time to go to work. That's when the muscles come out. That's when the weapons come out. It's showtime. How
Right.
you handle adversity is going to say a lot about who you really are. Are you the kind of man where if you
Mm-hmm.
lose your job, you just all, woe is me, I'm depressed, I'm heartbroken. You're a shell of yourself, but now she's got to comfort you the whole time, but there's no motion?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you the type of dude where the
Yeah.
minute you get your papers, you already kicking out your resume on LinkedIn? You already hitting up on your contacts. Hey, what's up, man? You got any openings over here, whatever? Or you pound the pavement, going door to door, knocking on everything. You got 50 applications that you cranking out a day. You have a set goal of how long it's gonna take you to get your job back, or you come up with plans. Look, babe, I had X amount of money saved. The market is really dry in this area. How do you feel about relocating somewhere else? Do you have a plan, my ninja?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we tell women that we want them to go ahead and be the ride or die and hold us down those bad times. But the problem is you ain't got no motion, you ain't
Mm-hmm.
got no plan. What is
Yeah.
it that you want her to get behind?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Right.
if she sees that it's all hands on deck, that the Titanic is sinking, and the captain over here getting lit with the band while they're playing Casey and the Sunshine Band, then of course she's gonna panic. She's gonna have bad feelings. She's not gonna be very supportive. She's not gonna be that ride or die that you want. But if she sees, okay, it's DEFCON 5, but Babe's got a plan. He's executing. He's making moves. And I see it's not just pie in the sky stuff, but it's practical. That's going to let her know, okay, something's going on, but Babe's got it covered. Let me watch my man work.
I
All
think,
right?
Yeah.
and I think that's what Teddy P had said earlier in his comment. He was saying that I think a
Mm-hmm.
man that says you never have to work is a short-lived sentence. He knew a HVAC business owner that fell 10 feet, broke multiple bones, and it was his wife and kids that worked his biz for him. So because she already knew
Mm-hmm.
that he already soaked a lot of value into his woman, and through that they built a family, a great structure. When he fell off,
Right.
literally, even literally or figuratively, they were able to pick up the slack and make sure that they covered the basis of it. So like you say all the time, your wife, your spouse is always going to be that foundation for you. That's why it's always critical to
That's right.
pick to have a great spouse. You know what I'm saying?
No
Mm-hmm.
doubt.
And I think what what's her name? Earlier she said it. Nima, right? Nima
Nima.
said,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Nima said earlier that she was like, I'm gonna post it up real quick. She said, uh, once you get, the papers, your relationship is officially a business. So once you're married, you bring that foundation, you're a business. So even if you fall in your business partner, which is your wife, in that instance, takes over and now basically is taking over the business while you're healing to be back at your 100% status. Or it could be a shift that is life threatening, where you might have broke your spine or whatever the case may be, and now they have to permanently take over, and you are the one being taken care of. So when you ride this ship of life together, you just never know how it's going to go, but you always want to make sure that if you're a solid captain, to always have a solid co-captain on there, or if you're a pilot, to always have a solid co-pilot with you as well. uh,
Yeah.
with that being said, I definitely want to get into our last segment, which is uh, the crown check, right? So we definitely going to do crown check
Yeah.
because we got to get up out of here. Um, so this week, crown check, I think it was super dope because we want our whole mission of our segment is always to highlight the great things women do. Yes, we always uh, highlight some of the things that we don't want to see women do. That's because we want to make sure that our women that are out here doing great things and continuous of image of greatness that our Black women has always carried this crown to be. We don't want that to be dirtied up. So we always want you guys to be on a path of greatness that you were always destined to be. So when you see you falling off and we're giving you a little critique, we're critiquing you because we know how powerful you are and the line you should be on a continuous motion. So with that being said, we want to highlight a pioneer, and a lot of people might not think there's a pioneer in her field, but trust me, representation matters. And when we look at the swans and we look at the beautiful women out here that expose the elegancy and the people that
Yes, sir.
the dances and the choreography that a lot of these Black women has so creatively constructed over the years, and the essence of how they flow and vibe as ballerinas and in their art form, you know, we have to definitely acknowledge this queen here, who is Misty Copeland, right? So Misty Copeland is an American ballet dancer in theater, one of the 3 leading classic ballet companies in the United States. On June 30th, 2015, Copeland became the first African-American woman to be promoted to the principal dance in ABT's 75-year history, right? So she went on, and in California in 1996, convinced Copeland to attend a ballet class at her local Boys and Girls Club, and Cynthia Bailey, a friend of her mother's, taught a free ballet class at the club once a week, right? So it goes on to say that, like, her mother told Copeland that she would have to give up ballet, but Bradley wanted Copeland to continue and offered to host her, right? And agreed to this, and Copeland moved in with Bradley and her family. Eventually, Copeland and signed a management contract and a life story contract with Bradley. Copeland spent the weekdays at home with her mother, a 2-hour bus ride away. Copeland would spend most of her next 3 years with the Bradleys. By the age of 14, Copeland was the winner of a national ballet contest and won her first solo role. She also, I wanted to highlight, in addition to her dance career, Copeland has become a public speaker, celebrity spokesperson, and a stage performer. She has written 2 autobiography books and narrated a documentary about her career challenges, right? She was named one of the most influenced people in the world by Time magazine, appearing on its cover. She performed on Broadway in It's a Town, toured on Future Dance for Prince, appeared on reality television shows, A Day in Life, and So You Think You Can Dance. She has endorsed products and companies such as T-Mobile, Coach, Inc., Dr. Pepper, the Dannon Company, and Under Armour. And the reason why I brought up the post about her mother and her friend, when we talk about building, nation building, community building, a lot of times people, what we see nowadays is when somebody's child gets hurt or somebody's child gets killed, we don't have any empathy for that family. The first thing we say is, oh, that's not my child. But the next week, your child gets injured or your child gets killed, and now you run around here talking about why y'all don't sit back and campaign for my child, because when somebody else's child got killed, you didn't campaign for their child. And the village mentality is every child is our child. So even if you don't have children, when you see children in your community, they're your children. They need your protection. They need your guidance. When we were growing up, a lot of the drug dealers told us, don't bring your ass out here on the streets, or I'm going to tell your damn family members. And that's what they did. They told our brothers, they told our mothers, they told our fathers, and we got an extra whooping because the drug dealers told us that's not our place to be out on the street. Go out there and go make sure that you're getting the good grades and everything else. And that's how a lot of our society kept in line and kept the code of conduct, because even our drug dealers had a code of conduct. We don't have that nowadays, and we need to bring that back. So the fact that the mother wanted to pull her out because she couldn't afford it, and the friend said, hey, I'll sponsor her, and not only will I sponsor her, she can come live with me while she learns everything. And that just turned her whole life around because she had that village to back up her mother So I just wanted to highlight that point. Super dope story. You guys could definitely read more about Misty Copeland on your own. But that's it for tonight's show. Thank you, gentlemen. And I'll turn it over to you guys.
Man,
Yeah.
to hell with reading
Really?
about Misty Copeland. You need to watch Misty Copeland, man.
Yes, you do.
She
This is the
is
truth.
sensational. I'm gonna tell you right now. When y'all get the chance, go ahead and look up. I think it was like several years ago. Go ahead and look up her doing Swan Lake with the LA Philharmonic Orchestra. You want to talk about poetry in motion? OMG. The
Sick.
system moves like she's made of silk. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
Dead ass serious. Don't be surprised if you miss and feel like a little mist or something popping up in your eyes. I'm telling you, it's beautiful stuff. She is phenomenal. And of course, no scandals or anything that I can think of that's been issued. It's difficult sometimes to find role models of people to look up to in certain areas because we're all flawed people. But Misty Copeland is truly an amazing ambassador for the world of dance. She's an amazing human being. I haven't heard a single bad thing about her. Everywhere she goes, she's loved, she's respected. Truly a wonderful sister, great human being. If you're looking to find some inspiration for your young ladies, your young girls to look up to, Misty Copeland is somebody safe that you can put in front of her. And again, achieving at high levels, breaking all kind of barriers, really a pioneer in the world of ballet, not just in terms of, first blackface this, but really, really carrying the world of dance to the next level. Definitely get to know, if you ever have a chance to see her live, if you find out the ABT, the American Ballet Theater, is coming through your town or somewhere nearby, go ahead, get you some culture, cop a ticket, sit and watch. It's going to be money well spent. I'm waiting for her to come back through here again. As soon as I see that, I'm on the first thing smoking.
Real talk.
Go ahead, Major.
She is phenomenal. Nothing short of amazing. You gotta go see Misty Copeland, even if you just pull her up online. You get your mouth open and you can't close it. Like we said, representation matters. Representation is a big deal. We have people in the comments saying that their daughter loves her and their daughters want to be ballerinas because of her. 2 people in these comments right now watching the show. And this is just a random show. And we're getting that type of feedback. So, we need to be very mindful of these things, how important it is to see Black faces in certain places. Tonight's show was important. When we start talking about lists that we want to put out there, let's make sure that we're presenting these lists in the proper light. You understand what I'm saying? We're coming to the table with good energy. We're putting out things that are helpful to the dating and relationship conversation, because Black relationships and Black marriage, the Black family, is in a state of crisis right now. We don't need this little bullshit, these low energy lists out here denigrating, the places that men like to take women, or the type of men that are out here, or the type of women that are out here. We need people putting out things in good faith that contribute positively to the conversation, to make us come together in the spirit of togetherness and cooperation, so that we can build, and find common ground. Because at the end of the day, I promise you, all that whining and complaining about all the places where, all the high level places that guys ain't taking you, and, all the sorry ass guys out here and all the sorry ass women out here, ain't gonna help you find a good one. It ain't gonna change nothing. You know what I'm saying? You need to become what you want to attract, and you need to put the type of energy out there that's going to reel in, someone that's on your level when you become that person. And then y'all build together, man. Like we're better than this. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see more positivity out there among our people, because we can do it, man. We have positive conversations here every week, positive, adult, mature conversations that move us all forward. You know what I mean? So, I would like to see more people, doing that and stop slinging so much mud back and forth, because it's counterproductive and it don't mean nothing. And I'll land my plane.
Definitely. So dope, so eloquently put. Thank you guys for joining in, men and women. Super dope. We had a great week. Me and Major was on another platform, and we had a great dialogue. We'll definitely next week have you guys listen to the feedback of somebody that wanted to share how hard we had touched them so much that they broke down crying. We have the audio for that. We'll definitely share that with you guys next week. Thank you guys again for joining in. It was a great dialogue. We needed this dialogue. And just remember to tell a friend, follow, like on all social platforms. If you know, this is a great platform for you guys to get great dialogue. Anything that you guys want to discuss with, we got a show coming up where we're going to do about our followers and anybody that joins in. We're going to have a show dedicated to y'all. Y'all could just jump online with us, chop it up with us, and let's just spew the stuff before heading into the New Year's. So definitely check us out next week as we get everything together and have another wonderful show for you guys. All right. With that being said, we up out of here. All right. Peace out, family.
Night.
Bless up.
On the album, we do things like songs that are a little, what we call sexy. You can see from the title, it's more of a love album.